Hey guys, what's up? Matt Peoples here, sitting in the midst of a coffee shop, and we're talking about vision clarity in this module, and not just clarity, but communicating vision and why that's important. And so you may say, okay, well, why are you sitting in a coffee shop? You just trying to get stuff done on the road? Yes and no. I'm sitting in a coffee shop because I love coffee shops. I go to tons of coffee shops and do a lot of work in coffee shops. Some of you guys might too. And I've been in a lot of different coffee shops. I've been in major chain coffee shops like Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts and Caribou Coffee, and I've been in small craft coffee shops like Bulldog Coffee in Ridgewood, which is one of my favorites, and this coffee shop I'm sitting here in Nashville. And what I've noticed is, while they're all coffee shops, they all look and feel radically different. They even have a different way of doing business, and they all have a different vision for what it means to be a coffee shop. Now, if you just say coffee shop, people have a clear picture in their mind of what a coffee shop is. So if you really want to show people what you're talking about, when you're talking about starting a coffee shop, you'd have to cast a vision of what that is going to be, because each one's different. It's the same with the church. There's so many different ways to do church. And even if you're just talking gospel-centered church, I'm not even talking about whether they're gospel-centered or not. I'm talking to do gospel-centered churches. There's so many different denominations, so many different styles, so many different ways that you can engage in doing gospel-centered ministry, that if you just simply say, hey, we're going to start a church, everybody's got a different picture. And so the reason communicating vision is so important is because, number one, it helps people see the picture of what you mean when you say church or discipleship, and what you mean when it says we're going to be a gospel community in this place. So number one, you're helping people see a picture of the church that will be. And, you know, Andy Stanley said this about communicating vision. He said that by the time you're sick of saying it, they're just starting to get it. And I think that's really important to understand. You're going to have to do this over and over and over. So you need to find clear and compelling ways to share your vision. And the reason that's so important is because you're giving people this picture, but not only are you giving people a picture, you're creating energy within the organization. When you show people that picture of the preferred future and where you're going, people get excited. And it tells them, hey, I want to be a part of this. Or, as you also find, people may say, you know what, that sounds great for you guys, but I don't want to be a part of it. So one of the reasons to clearly communicate vision is because it helps people opt in and opt out of the vision you're trying to create. And that's okay when people opt out. If you create a clear and compelling vision and communicate that with people, you're able to help people get excited that want to get excited, come along board that want to get on board, help people find areas they can serve and believe in what they're doing. But you can also help people see, hey, maybe this adventure is not for us. You know, church planners have asked me if a core team's growing, man, do I need to ask some people to leave? Never ask people to leave your core team. Simply share the vision very clearly of where you want to go, and people will opt in or opt out. And that's why vision language is so important. The other thing it allows you to do is leverage the power of focus. Being able to get everybody on the same page is a powerful thing. And when you're all moving in the same direction, you're able to see great things happen. And that comes through communicating the vision. And then finally, what I tell you is this. There's two things that they say whenever you're doing Oxano vision training, and we've probably covered them in our visioning piece, but I think it's really important when we talk about visioning and communicating that vision. Number one, vision doesn't transfer through paper, it transfers through people. Vision doesn't transfer through paper, it transfers through people. You may have a great vision statement written down on paper, and that's awesome, but until it gets into the hearts and the lives of people, it's not going to move any farther than that paper. So when you have clear communication around your vision and clear platforms where you can share that at every single level of your organization, inside and out, you're able to transfer that vision to the people around you, and that's how it really starts to get legs. And then finally, what I tell you is this. When you learn to communicate your vision, you have to remember that clarity isn't everything, but it can change everything. And that's another thing they say when you do an Oxano training. So learning to communicate your vision clearly will help you change the direction of your organization and create a gospel-centered DNA that can be catalytic in the community around you. So as you guys dig into this module, really take seriously, how are we going to communicate this vision that God's placed inside us and communicate it in a way that it can get out to people and people can transfer it to other people.